What's up, guys? We're here again, this time with Dominic Mejia. So he's going to be helping us today go over some mount escapes, because clearly even ADCC Absolute champions need some mount escape advice. So we'll go over some basic ideas here. Starting with a situation where my hand is trapped over my head, like this, where my arm gets isolated, it's over my head. The top guy is, actually switch sides. The top guy is not good enough to actually do anything with the isolated arm, but the bottom guy is so terrible that he can't actually escape bottom position. So how can we start dealing with this when the arm is isolated over the head? The first thing we're going to look to do is we're either going to go with a hip post, like so, or cross hip post, like so. Now, what is the determining factor on whether we go in with the hip post or with a cross hip post? Simple. Whoever wins the battle for inside knee or elbow position will determine where I'm going to place my hand. If my elbow, my right elbow, can get inside of my partner's knee from here, then I go with the hip post. If my partner's knee is inside my elbow, now the hip post is ineffective and I have to go to a cross hip post. So the first thing we look at is what we're going to do with our free hand. We're either going to go hip post if I can get my elbow inside my partner's knee, or if his knee is inside my elbow and up high, then we go cross hip post. And now from here, we can start to go to work. And the first thing I want to do is I want to start giving a bridge up and over my left shoulder. The bridge over my left shoulder will force my partner to either base his hand out completely or base his elbow out just enough so that I can take my left elbow back to the inside position. Now, notice as I bridge to one side, it puts all of my partner's weight onto one of his knees, okay? As the weight moves onto one of my partner's knees, you don't just bridge and bring your arm free and then your partner just immediately goes back to an underhook or goes back into attacks. The second we bridge, we end up here. And now we either go two hands to the hips if my elbow's inside, or we go hand over hand on my partner's hip on this side. And now from here, we can either start kipping to bring my knees back to the inside position, or we can start to go into inside elbow escapes where we just walk, we shrimp away, and we bring our knee to the inside position, and now we can easily go into all of our attacks from here. All right? So right from here, first thing we want to do is we want to look at elbow position. All right? Kainan was literally doing something a guy in a bar fight would do, and just hugging his opponent like this. Why? Who knows? This is not what we want to do. It's like something you learn like the first day of like mount escapes. I don't even get me started. The first thing we want to look at is where my hand position goes. If my elbow can get to the inside position relative to my partner's knee, then we go to the hip. If my partner's knee is on the inside position relative to my elbow, then we go cross hip. Now from here, we're going to look to start bridging up and over the left shoulder, the same side as the trapped arm. So when he goes to control me, it's a pretty easy thing to free that hand. And now we can either go hand over hand, or if my elbow's to the inside, we go two hands on. And now from here, we just go in, we start playing a kipping game, or we can go in, we can start walking out and away, we can move into position, and now we're ready to go. All right, so just basic ideas with where we should be putting our hands. We have a hand isolated up and over our head, we have to start going in and freeing the hand. We can also do more advanced things where we just go in for a one-handed kick. Or right from here, we just go in. We can either use a quick bridge, or we can use a pendulum to start getting weight onto one knee. And we just use a one-handed kick out and away. The main thing I want to focus on is the fact that I cannot stress enough that this is never going to escape any mount from white belt to black belt. So please, never do this where you just place your hand around your partner's back and hug them as tight as you can. It is completely and utterly useless. So, hope you guys enjoyed that mount escape instructional for all the blue belts and ADCC Absolute champions out there.